your input upon Johnny's songs that he's written?
Yeah.
With Watercolours being the first song on the album.
Watercolours was one of the last songs that we worked on together, and it's a song that he's written and come to the studio with in quite a complete form. I just think that the way Johnny writes with guitar and vocals, they can be complete songs before you do anything else to them. With mine, I write them on the piano, and I write them in quite a slow tempo, and then maybe sometimes speed them up for when we record them with drums and other instruments. So they change as they're being recorded. Whereas Johnny's, although they change a lot in the studio, they are complete songs when he arrives with them. So all I can do is put different instruments over what he's already done, or just change the sound from it being predominantly a guitar sound to having some strings and piano and things like that.
Now, in comparison to your songs, there are obviously different moods that seem to be apparent in the album, but Johnny seems to write in an almost darker sense. I'm thinking of Peace more specifically. That's got a bit of a darker vibe to it.
It has. What a lot of people don't know about Peace is that it's a song about child abuse by Catholic priests, which is an interesting one for Johnny to have come up with. I don't think there's much else I can add to that. The dark sounds that came through when I was recording that in the studio, again, it was quite complete when Johnny arrived with it.
But would you say that Johnny's mood to his songs are somewhat different to yours, or?
Yeah, I mean, mine are meant to be happy, cheerful, melodic, listen-y, easy sorts of songs. They're not very complicated.
Do you find it difficult arranging some of the songs that Johnny's written, such as maybe, again, Blood, Sweat and Fears is quite a dark.
I think it's very dark, but I think that was easy to play with because it was obvious how dark it was, and I could add dark sounds in the studio, and it scared me when I was writing it. I didn't like being in the dark listening to it because the voices in the background on the song are quite sinister, but in a good way. If that's what you want to listen to, it's great for that.
Another of Johnny's songs, again, a very nice song, and I've heard that you've had some airplay of this song, guesting Nettie Stamper. While you were sleeping, how did you find writing or help with that song?
That was complete. Johnny brought that as a complete song. Everything about it was as finished as it could be, musically, songwriting wise. And I heard things in the song when he played it to me as a guitar vocal. There were things I could hear, hand claps, I could hear trumpets, I could hear Hammond organs that obviously weren't there, but I could see and hear where they should go. And I just put them all over the place. There's woodwind and flute in the introduction with a Hammond organ, strings come in the background. It just lifts the whole thing to a different place. And it was the first one that we worked on together, and I think it's the best thing that the two of us have done together, and that's reflected in the fact that it got some radio airplay. So we haven't had that since with anything else we've done. So in a sense, that stands out as being quite groundbreaking for us as our first venture together, and for it having more success and more critical acclaim than anything else we've done.
And finally, with the last song that's on the album, Christmas in Your Heart, is that a deliberate thing to put it on a release sort of very early on in the year rather than?
No, we would have liked to have had it out on a Christmas album or as a Christmas release all to itself. We just took so long getting round to a finished version of it, and then when we'd finished it, we took so long marketing the song. We missed Christmas, but we didn't want to wait and put it on the second album or find an album that it could go on that was coming out at Christmas just especially. And then I think we'd gone off the idea of having it as a special single release. We could do that in the future. We'd do it next Christmas or Christmas after, have it out on its own. But we just thought, well, it's a song that we've worked on. It's a really nice song. Um, it doesn't have to be Christmas for it to be there, because the song itself is about having the spirit of Christmas, the generosity, the love, all the giving of presents, the giving of your time, all of the rest of the year. So it's quite fitting that it's not on an album that's out at Christmas. So, you know, in this country, be listening to it in the blazing sunshine of June or July, or the English rain of either of those 2 months. It's about thinking about the spirit of Christmas at other times of the year, so it works.
Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.